A rich man demanded I give him my VIP concert spot, snapping, "I paid more for my ticket, so move." When I refused, he called security, smirking, "Watch how fast you're removed." Seconds later, the guard checked our tickets and escorted him out instead. His jaw dropped as they said, "Sir, you bought a fake ticket. She belongs here. You don't." This happened at Madison Square Garden last summer. I'd been saving for months to see my favorite artist perform live. VIP tickets weren't cheap, but the experience was worth every dollar. I got the ticket legit, straight from Ticketmaster, the day they went on sale. It came with early entry, a merch bag, and a front row seat in the VIP section near the stage. I showed up hours early, got through security, picked up my stuff, and made my way to my seat. Everything was smooth. People were already excited. A few were taking pictures, some just standing around. I sat down and just took it all in. Around 20 minutes before the show started, this man walks over to my row. Dressed in a full suit, expensive watch, probably mid-40s. He had that loud confidence some rich people carry like a cologne. The kind that stinks up a room. He stands in front of me and says, "You're in my seat." I look up at him and say, "No, I don't think so. This is row A, seat 6, right?" He doesn't even check. He just smirks and says, "I paid more for my ticket, so move." I blinked. "That's not how this works," I told him. "You don't get to move people because you think you spent more." He steps closer, clearly annoyed, and says, "Watch how fast you're removed." Then he actually waves down a security guard. Like, full arm in the air like he's hailing a cab. The guard walks over. "Is there a problem here?" The man doesn't even let me speak. He cuts in, "Yeah, she's in my seat. I paid for front row VIP. I need her moved now." The guard turns to me and asks for my ticket. I hand it over. It's in a plastic sleeve because I knew I'd want to keep it after the show. Then he asks the man for his. This is where it gets weird. The man hesitates. Like a real pause. Then he pulls out a folded piece of paper from his inside jacket pocket and hands it over. I don't say anything. I just watch. The guard examines both tickets, scans mine with a little device, then looks at the man's paper. Scans it. Scans again. His whole posture changes. He looks at the guy and says, "Sir, this ticket is not valid. It's a counterfeit." The guy laughs. Actually laughs. "Are you serious? I got that ticket from a broker. It's real." The guard repeats calmly, "It's not. We've had reports of fake VIP tickets being sold online. Yours doesn't match the barcode, and it's missing security features." Now the man's not smirking anymore. He says, "You must be mistaken. I spent over $1,000 on that seat. Look at it." The guard hands it back. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave the section." The guy refuses to move. Starts raising his voice. "This is insane. I paid more than her. You're kicking out the wrong person." By now, 2 more security guards are walking over. The first guard says again, "Sir, she belongs here. You don't. If you don't come willingly, we'll escort you out." People are watching now. Phones are out. The guy stares at me like I'm the reason his night's going downhill. One of the other guards leans in and says something to him. I didn't catch it, but the guy finally steps back, clearly furious. He mutters something under his breath, glares at me one last time, then walks away with the guards following him. I sat there silent for a second. I wasn't scared, just kind of stunned. Then the woman next to me leaned over and whispered, "That was amazing." I nodded but didn't say anything. I kept thinking. If I had backed down, if I didn't insist on showing my ticket, this guy might have actually gotten away with it. That wasn't the end of it, though. A few minutes later, a different staff member came over. He apologized for the scene and thanked me for my patience. He gave me a free drink voucher and asked if I wanted to file a formal complaint. I said no, I just wanted to enjoy the concert. But that man? I wasn't done with him yet. I figured that was the end of it. A fake ticket, a guy removed, and now I could enjoy the concert in peace. But about halfway through the main set, just as the lights dimmed for one of the artist's biggest songs, I saw something that made my stomach drop. There he was. That same guy. He was back. Not in my row, but 2 sections over. Near the middle aisle. He wasn't alone this time. He was with someone who looked like a manager or another high-level staff member. His suit was even flashier than before. The rich guy was pointing straight at me. I turned forward, pretending not to notice, but I could feel it. That slow, crawling burn of being watched. A few seconds later, the same staff guy from earlier tapped me on the shoulder. "Ma'am," he said, "can I speak with you for a moment?" Now I'm tense. What's going on? Just a quick clarification. You don't have to move. He gestured for me to follow him toward the side of the section. The music kept going, loud as ever, but it felt like it was miles away. We stepped into the corridor by the stairs. The guy in the flashy suit was already waiting. Next to him, was the man with the fake ticket. His arms were crossed, smug look back on his face like he knew something I didn't. Flashy suit spoke first. "There's been a claim that your ticket might have been transferred improperly. This gentleman says he bought it from a third party and the system showed a matching seat assignment." My heart was pounding. That's not true. I bought this myself from Ticketmaster. I can pull it up. I pulled out my phone, opened the Ticketmaster app, and showed the receipt, the confirmation email, and even the transaction on my bank account. Flashy suit took the phone and looked over everything. Meanwhile, the rich guy stood back, arms still folded, like he was waiting for me to crack. Flashy suit handed the phone back, nodded slowly, and said, "This all looks correct." Then he turned to the other man and asked, "Can you show me proof of your transaction?" The guy's face changed. Not full panic, but close. The guy I bought it from told me it was legit. He said it was transferred. I didn't get an email or anything. Flashy suit gave him a flat stare. No email, no receipt, no transaction? And you expected to get VIP access to a sold-out show. I paid cash, the man snapped. He said it was all above board. Flashy suit tilted his head. "We've already scanned your ticket. It's not in our system. That's why you were removed earlier. We're trying to prevent repeat issues like this." Then something weird happened. The man suddenly turned it all on me. "She's lying. Look at her. She doesn't look like a VIP. Probably printed that at home and sweet-talked the guard. This is a scam, and you're letting it happen." That hit like a punch. My voice cracked. "Excuse me." But before I could finish, Flashy suit raised a hand. "Sir," he said, calm but with an edge, "you need to stop. You're trespassing at this point. You've been warned once. If you cause another disturbance, you're going to be banned from the arena permanently." "You can't ban me," he barked. "Do you know who I am?" "Oh!" That line. Of course. Flashy suit didn't blink. "I don't. And I don't need to. Rules apply to everyone." Security showed up again. 2 big guys this time. The man turned red, like actual beet red, and started yelling about lawyers, media, and how this place was a disgrace. One of the guards calmly pulled out a small body cam and said, "Everything is being recorded. Please cooperate." He didn't. He shoved one of them. That was the final straw. He was pinned and taken out of the building. Not even gently. I watched from the corridor as people stared, phones out, capturing the mess. Flashy suit looked at me, shook his head, and said, "I'm sorry about all of that. Some people really believe money means they can push others around." I just nodded. I didn't have words left. He paused, then added, "If you need anything, find me. We'll take care of you." I went back to my seat. The song had changed, but I couldn't enjoy it the same way anymore. Not yet. But I kept watching the exits. Because I had a feeling this wasn't the last I'd see of him. I sat back down, but the high of the concert was gone. The lights, the sound, the energy, it all felt muted. My eyes kept scanning the crowd. I didn't know what I was looking for exactly. Maybe just some sign that he was really gone for good. That I could finally let my guard down. but something was still off. About 20 minutes later, during a slower song, I noticed someone walking down the side aisle. It wasn't the man, but it was the guy who had been standing next to him earlier. One of the friends, or maybe a manager. He was older, shorter, looked like he belonged behind a desk. He had a lanyard around his neck, but it didn't look like an official venue badge. He stopped at the edge of the VIP area, scanned the seats until his eyes landed on me. Then he pulled out his phone and started recording me. At first, I thought I was imagining it. I shifted a little to the side. His camera followed. I turned my head slowly, met his eyes. He smiled. Not a friendly smile, a knowing, smug kind of smile. Then he turned and walked away. I sat frozen. Why the hell was I being filmed? I flagged down the nearest usher and told her what had just happened. She asked for a description and said she'd alert security again. But by then, the guy had disappeared into the crowd. It didn't stop there. A few songs later, someone else showed up. This time, a woman late 30s, glossy red lipstick, tight dress, heels that didn't belong in a concert crowd. She didn't walk into the VIP area. She stood just outside the barricade, held her phone up like she was pretending to take a selfie. But her camera was angled at me. I didn't move. I stared right into it. She turned away fast and walked off. That's when I knew this wasn't just about a fake ticket or a guy who wanted to steal my seat. This was something else. Someone was watching me, tracking me. I pulled my phone out and opened Instagram. Checked the concert's event hashtag. Scrolled for a bit. Then I saw it. A blurry photo of me, taken from behind, captioned, "This girl scammed her way into VIP. Rich folks getting pushed aside for freebie nobodies. Madison Square Garden is a joke." The account had no profile picture, no followers, and only that one post. I reported it, blocked it, but I kept searching, and I found 3 more accounts with similar photos. One with me talking to security. Another showing the rich guy being taken out. One even had the fake ticket folded next to a caption claiming he'd been robbed by the venue. They were spinning a story. A fake one. They were trying to make it look like I was the scammer. That I had somehow cheated my way into a seat I paid for with my own money. I went back to Flashy Suit. Told him everything. Showed him the photos. He took one look and said, "I know exactly who's behind this." Apparently, the man who had tried to take my seat was someone with power. Not the kind that came from talent or respect, but connections. Real estate money. Investors. A name in certain circles. He'd pulled stunts like this before. Trying to push people out of their seats, demand backstage access, threaten lawsuits if he didn't get his way. He wasn't just angry that I stood my ground. He was trying to destroy me for it. Flashy Suit brought me backstage, not for fun, not for a meet and greet, but to get me away from the public floor. A few of his staff were already pulling surveillance footage. Others were calling legal. "This is beyond entitled," he said. "This is defamation. Harassment." My phone buzzed again. Another Instagram notification. This time it wasn't a photo. It was a live video. A man's voice, him, I was sure, talking about how he'd been attacked at the venue by a woman with a fake ticket and a vendetta. And people were commenting. Some believing it. Some laughing. But all eyes were suddenly on me. They didn't know my name yet. But I had a sinking feeling they would soon. Flashy Suit leaned over and asked, "Do you want to press charges?" And I realized this had become something much bigger than a concert. I didn't answer him right away. My head was spinning. All I wanted was a good night with music I loved. Instead, I was being filmed, lied about, and dragged into some rich man's tantrum gone public. But yeah, I was mad. Real mad. And I wasn't about to just take it anymore. I gave Flashy Suit the green light. "Yes," I said. "Press charges. I want him to pay." He nodded and got the ball rolling. Security started compiling all the camera footage from earlier. The guards wrote up statements. They even got a tech person from the venue to take screenshots of all the fake social media posts being circulated. Meanwhile, someone from legal came down, took my ID, phone screenshots, the ticket, and got to work. While that was happening, I called my cousin. She's a lawyer. Nothing high profile, just family law in Jersey, but smart and quick on her feet. I told her everything. She told me to keep every single screenshot and video I could. She also told me to file a police report that same night, which Flashy Suit agreed to help with. I left the concert early. No music was going to fix the mood after that. The next day, it got worse. Someone had posted my face on Twitter, claimed I had scammed VIP tickets all across New York. Another account said I falsely accused a businessman and ruined his career. Then my full name appeared. And my job. And my LinkedIn. The guy had clearly hired someone to dig into me. Or maybe one of his rich friends helped. Either way, I was being doxxed. Strangers messaged me calling me a thief, a liar, a gold digger. One even said, "You'll regret embarrassing him in public." I took screenshots of everything. Sent it to my cousin. She was livid. Here's the thing, though. He thought he was untouchable. He thought I'd crawl under a rock and hide. But I didn't. I went full offense. My cousin helped me file for a restraining order. The venue backed me 100%. Their lawyers reached out to the social platforms and demanded takedowns under defamation and harassment clauses. Meanwhile, my cousin filed a civil suit for defamation, public harassment, emotional distress, and attempted fraud. And you know what? We found out something juicy. The guy hadn't just lied about buying the ticket. He'd done this at 2 other events that same month. Always in VIP sections. Always picking out someone alone or someone younger, claiming it was his seat. 2 women had even walked away out of fear. No one had followed up on it. He'd gotten away clean until he tried me. Then something beautiful happened. Madison Square Garden's legal team decided to make an example out of him. They banned him for life. Every MSG venue in the country. Not just concerts, Knicks, Rangers, boxing events, the works. And then they pressed criminal trespass charges for re-entering the venue after being removed. His accounts online? All linked back to a burner IP his assistant had set up. The assistant flipped fast, gave up his name to avoid charges herself. The final blow? A major local paper ran a story entitled "Real Estate Tycoon Faces Legal Storm After Targeting Young Concert Goer." They didn't name me, but they named him. Front page. It detailed the lies, the videos, the smear campaign, and the civil suit pending. His investors pulled out. His company's stock dropped. His PR team released some weak statement about miscommunication at a private event. And the comments under the article? They destroyed him. As for me, I won the case. He settled for 6 figures. My cousin nearly fainted when the offer came in. I didn't even counter. I just said, good. Let him feel it. I took a break from social media. Got myself a lawyer-approved NDA to never talk about him by name again. And with that money, I paid off my student loans. Took a month off work. Booked myself a trip. And yeah, I bought tickets to another concert. Front row, VIP. And this time, nobody tried to take my seat. He made one mistake, thinking no one would fight back. And yeah, I made one too, thinking silence would protect me. But I learned. Next time someone tries to steamroll me with money and power, they better be ready to lose both.